For centuries, we have been told that the great civilizations of the past rose in isolation, their achievements unfolding independently, untouched by the ideas of distant lands. The mighty Maya of Mesoamerica, builders of awe-inspiring pyramids, masters of mathematics, and keepers of cosmic time, are said to have had no contact with the ancient world of India, the land of the Vedas, where sages measured the universe in grand cycles and where the number zero itself was first conceived. But what if this story is incomplete? What if the great civilizations of the past were not just aware of each other, but connected in ways we are only beginning to understand? Mainstream history insists that transoceanic contact between these civilizations was impossible, that the vast expanse of the Pacific and Atlantic acted as impenetrable barriers to cultural exchange. But the deeper we look, the more we find evidence that suggests otherwise. We have ancient texts speaking of far-off lands across the seas, mythologies that mirror each other with uncanny precision, architectural designs that defy coincidence, and even mathematical systems that appear to have emerged in tandem. Could it be that Hindu explorers, guided by the stars and cosmic maps, sailed across the ocean long before Columbus? Could their sacred knowledge have influenced the temples, deities, and scientific breakthroughs of the Maya? In the ancient Hindu epic, the Mahabharata, there exists a cryptic passage describing a land known as Patala Loka, a place across the ocean filled with vast cities, golden palaces, and wise beings known as the Nagas. Some scholars interpret Patala as a mythical underworld, but others have begun to question whether it was a real, distant land, perhaps even the Americas. The description of a place where the sun does not scorch as it does on Earth, and where serpent deities guard hidden knowledge, bears an eerie resemblance to the Mayan concept of Xibalba, their own mythical underworld ruled by powerful serpent gods. Unlike the Christian underworld, which is a place of torment, both Hindu and Mayan traditions describe their underworlds as realms of initiation, rebirth, and hidden wisdom. The similarities between Patala and Xibalba are more than linguistic. They speak to a deeper, shared cosmology. But mythology is just the beginning. When we look at the structures these civilizations left behind, the connections become even harder to ignore. The towering step pyramids of Chichen Itza, Tikal, and Palenque bear a striking resemblance to the temple towers of India, known as Vimanas. The Ramayana describes Vimanas as celestial vehicles that moved with the precision of the stars, and while modern interpretations often depict them as flying machines, another reading suggests they were sacred structures designed to harness celestial energy. Like the Mayan pyramids, Indian temple towers were aligned with astronomical bodies, particularly Venus, a planet both cultures revered for its influence over time and destiny. Mathematics provides even deeper connections. The concept of zero, one of the most revolutionary ideas in human history, first appears in the Bakhshali manuscript, dating back to the 5th century CE. Zero is the foundation of advanced calculations, necessary for the development of precise calendars, vast architectural projects, and the kind of astronomical predictions both the Maya and Hindus made with stunning precision. Yet somehow, without any recorded contact, the Maya also developed the number zero, using it in their long count calendar in a way strikingly similar to the Indian decimal system. Historians claim this is mere coincidence, but is it truly? Or is this a remnant of a forgotten connection, one that history has systematically erased? We are often told that the ancient world was limited by geography, that the oceans were barriers rather than highways. But history tells a different story. Indian maritime records found in the Rigveda describe vast oceanic voyages taken by Hindu merchants and sages. The Tamil Sangam literature, composed over 2,000 years ago, speaks of great ships called navais, that traveled across enormous distances, suggesting a deep understanding of maritime navigation. If Polynesian sailors using nothing but star charts and ocean currents could reach Hawaii from Southeast Asia, why do we dismiss the possibility that Hindu explorers could have reached the Americas? Some evidence suggests they might have. Indian-style carvings and symbols have been found in ancient Mesoamerican ruins, depicting figures in postures identical to Hindu deities, adorned with similar jewelry and headdresses. In Guatemala and Mexico, reliefs bear a resemblance to traditional Indian iconography, showing figures seated in meditative poses with symbols that parallel Hindu cosmology. And then there are the gods themselves. The Mayan god Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, bears a haunting resemblance to Shesha, the cosmic serpent of Hindu tradition. Both are depicted as divine beings associated with time, eternity, and the cycles of creation and destruction. Both are central to their respective civilizations' understanding of the cosmos, embodying wisdom and infinite knowledge. Even more perplexing are the cultural parallels in how both civilizations measured time. The Hindu concept of yugas, vast epochs that define the rise and fall of humanity, aligns remarkably well with the Mayan long count calendar, which tracks great cycles of civilization over thousands of years. Both traditions envisioned time as cyclical rather than linear, seeing human history as a series of ages destined to repeat. Skeptics argue that these are mere coincidences, that civilizations arose independently, without contact, without influence. But when we see the mathematical, architectural, astronomical, and mythological parallels, that explanation becomes harder to accept. What if, long before Columbus, long before even the rise of Rome or China, there was another age of exploration, a time when knowledge traveled across the seas carried by merchants, sailors, and sages? What if Hindu explorers, guided by the stars, reached the shores of Central America, bringing with them sacred mathematics, cosmic wisdom, and a shared vision of time and the universe? And what if we have been looking at the evidence all along, refusing to believe what it tells us? Perhaps the truth is not buried beneath the ruins. Perhaps it has been hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to open our eyes. But the real question is, are we finally ready to see it?